It's being said that Lalita Sahasranama has some secret codes of the universe.
Each set of this color expresses a distinct way in which awareness functions. How it functions is called color. No, it's not Chandra Kala, Surya Kala. It's not aspect of that. It's not. This is how each section or each 100 functions is that kala is called about. That's what the kala is not the moon phase. It's a mode of awareness. Where is awareness? The consciousness.
Second 100 names.
Exactly.
The 200th name till we reach there. So what do they talk about? How do they define Devi?
Yeah. The power which is making it illuminate, that awareness, here it becomes little shadowed. The filtering of light takes place. The filtering light is Dumbrika. We come to that level. So that infinite become knowable. Why become knowable is, it is filtered with something. The light is getting filtered. That's Dumbrika. That's Dumra. That's clouding.
How is that state, Guruji, when one reaches to the fourth color?
It was totally conscious that's coming to the littling and formation. Then you become the beauty. Life feels worth engaging with. Existence here is not a mechanical. It's become meaningful.
Hi everyone, a very warm welcome on the show, and this is your host Rangoli Sharma. In today's episode of Mystic Mind, I've brought to you your favorite topic. You know, when we talk about Devi, when we talk about Maa Lalita, we talk about Lalita Sahasranama. Now, this is a text which is considered to be a direct invocation to Devi. You know, the 1,000 names of Devi, they express your expansion, your spiritual expansion. And how does Devi bless you through Lalita Sahasranama? Today we'll talk about it, but this is going to be a different kind of podcast on Lalita Sahasranama. I'm sure you've not heard this kind of podcast on Lalita Sahasranama anywhere else before, because this calls for deep spiritual seekers. And today we are going to divide Lalita Sahasranama into 10 parts. You know, the 1,000 names divided into 10 parts. And how does they talk about the expansion? And what powers does Lalita Sahasranama give you? What happens when you chant it regularly, when you recite it regularly, or you listen to it regularly? What changes does it bring into your life? So this podcast is going to tell you all of this. And for this special discussion, a very special guest has joined me today. You've met him before also. He's a Sri Vidya Guru. I would like to welcome Atmanandanatha Guruji from Guhanand Parampara. Guruji, a very warm welcome on the show. Such a pleasure to have you back on the show today. And as always, you know, whenever you speak, I highly feel that Devi is speaking through you. So again, it's a very divine environment today as you joined us.
And well, thank you for the compliments. It is not that, anyway, let me first bow down to my Guru Mandala. Shanta Vimala Prakasha Atma Guha Chidyogasya Shri Paranandati Sadgurun Namamyaham Punapuna Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Na Guru Radhikam, Na Guru Radhikam. It's my pleasure to Rangoli, but it is not through me she speaks. Through you also she speaks. It's not you speak. But I makes us think that I speak. It is not necessary through me, through everyone. She speaks because she is Vagdevi.
Wow.
Without Vagdevi, none of us can speak. Because each human being are making a sound. Even I should go a little step ahead. Any living being makes sound. Whatever sound they make. From the smallest creature to the birds, animals, they have some sound now.
Yeah.
Even that sound, I think it is Devi.
Hmm.
That sound, every sound itself, her form. Then who speaks here?
How beautiful.
So why only me?
Yes, and today we are going to speak about her only. When we speak about Shree Vidya, one of the most sacred texts that come is Lalita Sahasranam. Now we know that it talks about the 1,000 names of Devi. Today I want to know a deeper aspect of this Sahasranam, Guruji, from you. Like how chanting Lalita Sahasranam makes one so powerful, how it builds your connection with Devi, like it's a direct invocation.
See, Lalita Sahasranama can be looked into in different aspects and different dimensions. No one dimension, one aspect. Why? Because, like, this is once again, as I mentioned before also, when we were talking about Durga Saptashati, it's a part of Markandeya Purana. This is Brahmanda Purana. Mythology, basically, Brahmanda Purana. In that, a tantric text is incorporated called Lalitopakhana.
Okay.
This Lalitopakhana is the dialogue between the Hayagriva and Agastya. Agastya goes on putting question and Hayagriva answers and Agastya puts a question, unfolding the Shree Vidya. Unfolding the Shree Vidya and its Rahasya also. Lalita Upakhana. In the process of that Lalita Upakhana, so many Sahasranamas are also given by Hayagriva. One such is Lalita Sahasranama. He asks her, I think in Lalita Upakhana it comes dialogue. Agastya asks him, you see, you have given me so many things. Why have you not given me Lalita Sahasranama? I wanted to give you, but I want you to ask me for that. This is I'm repeating dialogue as it is, what is mentioned in Lalita Upakhana. Because it is the Rahasya, it is not just a Sahasranama, it is not mentioned by me or somebody else. The one who is said to have given it to Agastya, he speaks. It is the Rahasya of Sri Vidya, that's why I didn't give you unless you ask for it.
Yeah. So one should be a true seeker.
Yeah, you are a true seeker, you are eligible, but anyway, I don't want to give you unless you ask for it. So he has given it, but the Sahasranama is also a mantra here. That's the most interesting thing when it comes to Lalita Sahasranama. What is the mantra characteristics? Than Stotra or Prarthana. I don't know whether I spoke it before in some other podcast. I don't remember, but I don't mind at the cost of repetition.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference between a mantra and a Sahasranam? And a Stotra, for that matter?
Yeah. See, mantra has these components. You can't call it a mantra. Having this Sahasranama has these components. What mantra has components? We have to call this mantra only. What's the components of mantra, as all of us know? Mantra Shastra. It has got a Rishi. Rishi means the one which has Drashtrara, we call it. He has experienced that sound form, the mantra. And it has got a meter, Chandas. And it has got Bija Shakti Kilakam. You said the seed from where the energy of mantra is stored, like a seed. In a small seed, we know that the big tree is also there in that. It becomes, sprouts and become big tree to give you the fruits. Bija, that's a seed. And the energy in it, which makes it to sprout. Without energy, it cannot sprout. And Kilaka is once again a pin, or how you open it. So the mantra has to have the Bija Shakti Kilaka also.
Okay.
And then Devata. And which is Devata, or which form, or which energy, whatever you call it. As such, there is no form. It's an energy field, which this sound form represents. It's not the Devi it prizes. It represents the sound form of that divinity. So in this comes to Lalita Sahasranama. It is mentioned very clearly, Asya Shri Lalita Rahasya Sahasranama Stotra Mala Mantrasya, it begins. It doesn't say Lalita Sahasranama. No, it says Lalita Rahasya Stotra Mala Mantrasya. You see, Rahasya is told.
Yeah.
Esoteric. Stotra, it is told, it is prizing, accepted. Then it says, it is not just mantra, it is Mala mantra. What is this Mala mantra in the Mantra Shastra? Of course, there are two different versions or the opinion. One version says, any mantra having more than 24 letters is called Mala mantra. Mala is garland.
Yeah.
The garland of letters,
Okay.
which makes mantra. Some text says 28 and above. We are not interested with that 24 or 28. As long as it has a lot of letters in there, it becomes Mala mantra. That means this stotra gets the authority, or what you call status. Best word is that. Stotra gets the status of mantra here. So we have to accept this. Lalita Sahasranama is not a stotra, not only namas. It has got the status of mantra. When the status of mantra, the Rishi, Vashinyadi Vak Devata Rishayaha. We have just spoke now. Vak Devata is speaking. There are 8 Vak Devatas, not one. All these 8 Devatas are Rishis. The question comes here, whether this Vak Devatas has a forum where they come and wrote this?
Exactly.
The question naturally comes
Exactly.
here. It is not that they came and wrote that, or they pronounced it. The Rishi who wrote it, he acknowledged just that whatever he wrote, he or she, I don't know who is that, attributed to that energy, which is Vashini and other Vagdevatas, who are the energies in Shri Chakra.
Okay.
Vashini, yeah, there's one of the Avarana has Vagdevatas. So he attributed directly to Lalita Mata Sundari. Yeah. So the Rishi herself, I'm telling you, is that's what exactly it means. Vashinyadi Vagdevata has only her own forms, different forms. So she herself has given it. That's the right way of putting it. Vashinyadi Vagdevata, who saw that is herself. Vashinyadi Vagdevata saw herself only. She is a part of that. And Chandaha written. Anushtab Chandaha.
So, Guruji, I think one important question that comes here when people, they get fascinated towards Devi, or, when they get to know about Lalita Sahasranam, I think for beginners, it gets very difficult to, chant it, because one thing, they find it very long. And secondly, the pronunciations, they are not very sure that is it clear or not. So in that case, what should one do? Like, how should one make Lalita Sahasranam a regular part of their lives? And if they listen to it, let's say they don't chant it. If they listen to it, is it as effective?
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, when you say that, I must quote from Saptashati is also Parayana. Shrutam Harati Papani mentioned there. Shrutam is also equally good. I recommended this to many people. Instead of you chant Lalita Sahasranama wrongly with wrong pronunciation, put it on your headphone and listen to it. Enjoy that
Every day.
Finally, the sound, whether you pronounce it or you hear, listen, same thing, effect is same. Shrutam also is there. So, the proper pronunciation is also a must in Lalita Sahasranama. So, let me see, I refer for Anushtup Chanda for a particular reason I mentioned.
Okay. What does it talk about?
Yeah, Anushtup Chandaha is in mantra. This Sahasranama is Chandaha totally comply to Sanskrit grammar Chandaha. That is 32 letters is Chandasa. 8 into 4, 8, 8, 8, 8 makes 32 letters. That is a meter of the mantra. At the same time, there may be a mantra other than Sahasranama. Why I must tell this very important to audiences. There may be a mantra of Pankti Chandaha. Mantra I'm talking. Pankti Chandaha in Sanskrit grammar Chandaha is 40 letters.
40 letters.
Okay. Whereas that Pankti Chandaha of a mantra need not be 40 letters. Still, it is attributed to that Chandaha. So, people don't even think of it, why it is so. That the mantra with Pankti Chandaha, which doesn't have the grammar, Sanskrit grammar 40 letters, has to vibrate that 40 letters sound. That's one should be learned from the Guru. There's some mantra gives Pankti Chandaha and doesn't have that 40 letters as per Sanskrit grammar, still vibrate that. While chanting mantra, you should vibrate that. I want to make this not known to many people. I said this should be known to. So, Anushtup Chandaha, why? Why not some other Chandaha? 18 to 432. Shuddha Vidyankurakara Dvijapanti Dvayojvala is one of the namas, stotra comes here. Shuddha Vidyankurakara Dvijapanti Dvayojvala. This speaks about Shuddha Vidya. That is Shree Vidya. Dvijapanti Dvayojvala. Dvijapanti is the teeth. It has got 32.
Yeah.
So, Anushtup Chandaha and Dvijapanti is mentioned to that, Dvayojvala. Why I mentioned it is, why special Lalita Sahasranama? Among 51 letters in Sanskrit language, only 32 are used here in the Sahasranama. Other 19, though the 32 letters also represents her teeth. That's what the scholars speak about that. This is about Lalita Sahasranama. It gives the practice of Lalita Sahasranama from Shri Mata, Shri Maharagni, Shri Mat Simhasaneshwari to Shivashakti Ekkarupin Lalita Ambika.
Yeah. The first and the last.
Next 1000 names.
Yes.
I don't want to go deep into each nama and go on explaining it. But the scholars also identified or divided these 1000 namas into 10 parts. They call it 10 kalas, 10 aspects. Each one is also named of something, some kala.
So, Guruji, as you mentioned the kalas, it's being said that Lalita Sahasranam has some secret codes of the universe. So, like, do these 10 kalas that you just talked about,
I'm talking about that.
They talk about the secret codes of the universe?
Exactly. Each set of this kala expresses a distinct way in which awareness functions.
Okay.
Okay.
So each color talks about how awareness functions.
Each awareness functions. That how it functions is called kala. No, it's not Chandra kala, Surya kala. It's not aspect of this. Not. This is how each section or each 100 functions is that kala is called about. That's what the kala is not the moon phase. It's a mode of awareness. Where is awareness? The consciousness. The awareness, the consciousness which reveals which has limitations, which has got experiences and sustains. This 10 kalas or each 100 namas goes on talking about this. How the awareness, consciousness reveals limits and how finally it sustains. The first 100 namas are called Tapini Kala. They're named after Tapini Kala.
What does it talk about?
Yeah.
Like the first 100 names of
I know,
Devi,
I'll tell you.
It's called the Tapini Kala.
We talk about two things here. We are attributing Lalita Sahasranama and trying to understand Lalita Sahasranama, the awareness and consciousness.
Right. So to make it a little easier for my audience, I would like to clarify that now we are going to talk about Lalita Sahasranam into 10 parts that Guruji just mentioned. And those 10 parts, they talk about awareness and consciousness. So let's understand.
Different states of that.
Let's dive deep into those 10 parts.
The first 100 namas express, it is known as Tapini Kala.
Tapini Kala, the first.
If somebody asks me how it is named as Tapini Kala, I should say I'm ignorant about it. Nothing wrong in accepting why it is. Tapa is actually heat. But, okay, that's what I understand. So it creates maybe the heat. So the power is also referred to heat, normally. Power and heat, normally.
Yeah, energy.
Energy. The first 100 namas talks about the power by which the awareness shines. We begin that. The consciousness is awareness. That awareness has to shine, right? That needs a power. That power which makes the awareness to shine is embedded in the first 100 namas. Wonderful? I think I should repeat it.
Yeah, the last line I missed actually. Yeah.
The awareness shines. Don't delay. For that shining, the power is required. The power by which that awareness shines is in that first 100 namas. I think I'm clear now.
Okay.
The power which makes the awareness to shine is the 100 namas.
So the first 100 names, they describe this.
Yeah. That is Tapini Kala. Here, what is awareness? The awareness, as we know, not depend on any object. You can't also give a validation for that. Awareness, can you validate it?
No.
You can't validate it. Then how do you say? The awareness is, how to still define, not an object, can't validate, then still you have to define, no? It should be like, it is, I could say only self-evident. That's all. Awareness is self-evident. So this Shri Mata, Shri Maharakni, Shrimat Simhasaneshwari, to first 100 names point to that light, the presence of the light. Awareness is already shining before any thought arises. Without the awareness shines, the thought cannot emerge.
Truly.
So that thought emerging, awareness shining is the first 100 namas. This creates a foundation now, which follows now in the next.
In the next 10 names.
Next.
So now that we understood the meaning of the first 100 names, the first kala that you mentioned.
Yes, Tapini Kala.
Now let's move on to the second 100 names.
Exactly.
The 200th name till we reach there. So what do they talk about? How do they define Devi?
Yeah, we know that it's the power of shining, awareness. The power continues. Power doesn't stop here because we have to lend that power to sustenance
Exactly.
now. I have to keep that power intact. The second kala is known as Dhumrika kala. Dhumrika kala is, Dhuma is something clouding, etc. It makes too. Even Dhumralochana you get in Durga Saptashati. This Dhumrika kala, I should say, the power of limitation. The awareness shines with power. This is once again the power of that limitation. That limitation is subtle limitation, you can't make out. It's a very sukshma. You can't say how it is. It's a subtle limitation. When I say limitation, is it ignorance? Normally we understand. Limitation is ignorance. No, it's not ignorance. This is what the power or awareness is limitless. When I say it is limited, not referring to the ajnana or ignorance, but that's something, it's what allows the infinite, it's very infinite, appears to be finite. That limits. Making that infinite to appear as knowable. Infinite is not knowable. Making that infinite knowable is this situation. Second sentence. Okay. So this is where a soft willing is there. Maya is there. We can't. Nothing could be perceived. Nothing could be related, named. But awareness which was shining power, the manifestation begins not with darkness, but dhumra, cloud, with a gentle filtering of light. That is dhumrika, it's called. So the limitless infinite, which cannot be knowable, infinite cannot be knowable. It becomes limited, it becomes knowable. Able to understand. Maybe I'm going a little technical, but I can't help this, how it goes. It becomes knowable. That means the shining light, what I said previously, the power which is making it illuminate, that awareness, here it becomes little shadowed. The filtering of light takes place. The filtering light is Dhumrika. We come to that level. So that infinite become knowable. By become knowable it is filtered with something. The light is getting filtered. That's Dhumrika. That's Dhumra. That's clouding.
So Guruji, now that we understood the starting two kalas, what does the third kala talk about Devi?
Power of awareness shining. The power of subtle limitation. Right? Now we go to third kala, which is the power of radiant multiplicity. Power of shining, limitation. Now it goes to power of multiple shining, multiplicity, radiant. Here, the forms appear. There is no form. Awareness shining, it becomes limited. Infinite becomes. I have to go back on second so that I can remind.
Sure.
Infinite become knowable. That knowable takes a form now.
What is that form?
Form is, though in that mantras you see, namas, you see the form comes there. Though the third one is Marichikala, where that forms appear, which was only shining, limitation, subtle limitation, infinite become knowable, that knowable become form now. That form is, so the distinction arises. When the form comes, distinction comes, then diversity becomes visible. And with all that, the luminosity is lost. That illumination is still there. That which is shining, that is not gone. Very interesting that only. This is the third form is when it comes to Marichi, the subtle limitation taking a form now. Then when the form comes, there's a distinction arises. It becomes more visible. Just because it's visible, the luminous is not lost. What is shining is not lost. Though it took the form, the luminosity is not lost. Multiplicity is not a problem to be solved because it was not nothing there. No, form is, it becomes multiplicity, naturally. But it is not a problem, but it is the mode of appearance. The power of which is illuminate is becomes slowly to feel the appearance is the mode of appearance. Then go to Jwalini Kala.
Yes, the fourth color.
Fourth Kala.
Yeah.
When the form is appearing, the form action starts. When the form only action starts, the form of action starts now. Here, the awareness which was only luminous, shining, becomes dynamic now at this stage. The dynamic means what? Thinking, moving, creating, transformation, all this happens in these fourth places, 400 namas, what we talk, 0 to 400 namas, it starts working. So then when they say action talks, every action from the smallest thought, also action, to the largest cosmic process depends on that activating fire. That fire starts, the activating fire starts. That luminosity becomes the fire now, activating fire at this state. This is the fourth here. That consciousness which we spoken from 1, 2, 3 and all, how it takes place.
Yeah. How we reach till the form.
Yeah. It is not merely appear, start operating. The consciousness not only become appeared, but also start operating. Then we go to fifth Kala, Ruchi Kala. It is the power of the meaning and delight. See how we are slowly ascending order. The consciousness is moving now. That's Lalita Sahasranama. That meaning and delight, the experience is not just data, something more than that. When it starts, power of meaning and delight, the experience, not the data, that experience gets the taste, gets the value, gets the attraction also. This is why Lalita, she is depicted as beauty.
In the fourth Kala.
So the beauty moves us at that stage. It is the beauty that which is not only shining awareness, has become the beauty here which moves us. Then joy matters.
How is that state, Guruji, when one reaches to the fourth Kala? Like, how is that experience one experiences within themselves?
You look at the namas, you will know that. When you go from 100 to 400, you will know that. It was totally conscious that's coming to the littling and formation, then you become the beauty. Life feels worth engaging with. Existence here is not a mechanical, it's become meaningful. Those namas, what you call Ruchikala, makes that. So you have seen that from where the awareness was shining, become an experience here. That too not experience is beauty, experience of beauty comes here. Not only experience, it's the experience of beauty. That's where those namas comes, that's the 500 namas. The fourth is action, I said. It really operates. What I mentioned now, the beauty moves on.
That is the fifth Kala.
That is the fifth one.
Okay. Guruji, now that when we move on to sixth, what is the sixth kala of the Lalita Sahasranam talks about? And how do we experience Devi here?
It is Sushumna Kala actually.
Sushumna Kala.
Sushumna Kala is it's the power of inner alignment. Wherever we use Sushumna, you see, Sushumna Nadi we talk about, it is subtle. Sushupti, state, the third state, is not felt. So that is not felt. There's something inward alignment. This is that. So sixth Sushumna Kala is talking about inner alignment. When inner alignment starts, what is it scattered? All that begins together, and the awareness gets centered itself. Is it not same thing similar, or where we talk about in Saptashati, the energies or powers are scattered and they become together? Same situation here also we can always apply. The scattered things come together and awareness naturally centers. This is not outward pulling. It is less fragmentation, more coherence it becomes. This is not an effort or a discipline. This is the integration. Same thing we can recollect on, because we call it's an integration of powers, all the powers. That's what it is. They called the Sushumna Kala, inward. And then we move to seventh, called Bhogta Kala.
Bhogta Kala. How does this talk about Devi?
It is the power of experience in here, the Pakka experience. Here is the subtle things becomes almost physical. Subtle shift happens, experience continues, but the sense of separate experiences weakens. The separation is that weakens. There is no separation now. Separation, if the experience is done separately now, that separation becomes slowly reduced. It's because we have to go for a separation together. Separation should be going reducing, so become one. Last, to become that, the separation of knower and known should be reduced. No? It's happening here. I think I got it. This is at this stage, the separation becomes reduced between know and knower, and but enjoyment remains as it is. When knower and knower, the difference reduces, the ownership dissolves. I am seeing, I am experiencing,
I am doing.
I am doing.
You let that ownership go.
So the awareness experienced, it can be tasted itself through that experience, diluting or dissolving that I am doing. That happens here in seventh. Then we move to eighth. It's called Vishwa Kala. It's called, and it is totality. Vishwa is totality. Actually, the very name indicates totality. Nothing stands outside awareness anymore. Nothing outside anymore. Everything inside only. The differences remain still, no doubt, but they are held with the single inclusive field. The differences still exist, but they are held together inward. We had understood multiplicity before in the third one, second one. Multiplicity we have seen, third one. Subtle, awareness shining, subtle, multiplicity, third one. That multiplicity is no longer confusing. See, it was multiplicity, we saw that.
Yeah.
Now, when we come to this stage, that multiplicity is no longer confusing because it's integrated now. See how we have coming through stage by stage.
And what does the ninth stage talks about?
I'll come to that. Yeah. That's called Bodhini Kala. You want to go fast? Yeah. Fine. The ninth is self-recognition. You come to the stage now. Multiplicity doesn't matter to you. Then you come to self-recognition. The awareness which is for shining now recognize itself. This recognition state come now. Not as an object, but as the very ground of knowing, seeking. Knowing, seeking, all falls away, gone. No knowing, no seeking. It becomes beyond that. Not because something is achieved, but because, very interesting I'm making it. Not that something is achieved, but nothing was missing. It is not that something achieved, but nothing was missing at this stage. Nothing is missing here. When nothing is missing, it is not knowing something else, but it is the knowing becomes natural. No effort. The knowing becomes natural. The experience becomes natural. There is no effort. And we move on to the last one.
Yes.
And that is final.
Shiv Shakti.
Where we started now. The power of awareness shining. The last one is the power of sustaining. This power of sustaining makes the life continue in this world. Is it not so? Where is the world today?
Definitely.
So we move from the power of awareness shining to the power of sustaining, which with life continues to exist, but without any inner conflict. No inner conflict.
So there is no inner conflict left when you reach to the thousandth name.
Nothing. So it is not merely the stotra prizing. No, it's 1,000 names articulation of the how awareness reveals itself from self-illuminosity to embodied stability. Illumination to illuminous to stability. So to recite it makes us move 10 movement of consciousness when we start. This happens to us.
Shri.
So you should feel that when you chant that. We are moving the 10 stages of movements of consciousness, whether we know or not.
So Guruji, let's just say if any of my viewer who is watching this podcast and they start to, listen to or recite Lalita Sahasranam regularly, what changes would Lalita Sahasranam bring into their lives?
Already I told you, without knowing also it happens to you. That's what it says. You without knowing also, you pass through these stages.
Like what kind of changes? Because when we talk about Shree Vidya or Lalita, Maa Lalita, people generally think of Shri and people only think of materialistic comforts. But what here I'm asking is, like what kind of spiritual benefits or spiritual progress would one receive?
See, you realize the oneness, the knower is lost, knowing is lost, everything is lost. It's very clearly mentioned, that's where the awareness reveals itself. Awareness cannot reveal, it's only that reveals itself from self-luminosity to the stability. That's the stability, sustenance. Very clear, Rangoli. We begin with just connect the dots now. Power of awareness shining. There's a power required to awareness shine. The same power continued in different stages. That power becomes sustenance today. That's where from which the whole world, you know that you are a part of that. Power which was shining awareness has become power of sustenance. That's you become one with that. Is it not so? That's Lalita Sahasranama. These 10 kalas were experienced. And this is one part of that. The other part, when you go to the deeper, each nama gives a practice also. Yeah.
Each nama gives?
Different practices also it gives. Okay. Suppose there are, for example, Kula Kundalaya, Kulangana, Kulantasta. This expresses the different, how she looks, how she can be practiced, how she can be felt. All these also are mentioned there.
Okay. Lovely.
Samayantasta, Samayachara Tatpara. All this, there's a state of different the Upasaka. We try to look at Lalita Sahasranama in a different aspect.
Definitely. In a very different light.
Different
we talked
light,
about it today.
That's what the purpose of this talk I going to be. It is not just a rahasya of Lalita Shree Vidya, nor the namas. It is the power of the consciousness, the luminosity, moving from to shining to experience, where everything is lost. So Lalita Sahasranama has that.
Lovely.
That is the
and I'm
right
sure,
way of concluding
Guruji,
it.
that right message and the right power of this Sahasranam is reaching to the right audience. And as always, it was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm sure that whoever wants to call Devi, Devi would respond to them in some form or the other.
No, I can also add something else.
Sure.
When they chant Sahasranama, they can keep this in mind. I'm moving from here to there. It is not that I'm just chanting this Sahasranama.
Exactly. There's an expansion happening.
Yeah. What's happening? I'm moving towards something. I'm moving from Tapini to the end, Dharini. Tapini, Dharini. Dharini is, I'm holding it. Yeah. Dharini, Dharana. Dharana is holding. That's why it's called Dharani. Because the earth holds everything. That's called Dharani. Dharani is what holds it. From Tapini, to Dharini, this ascending order. One should experience itself when you chant that mantras 100, that beautiful thing.
Lovely. So thank you so much, Guruji, for joining us today.
Look, as usual, we should attribute all this knowledge, what is I think I spoke, is always only from the Vagdevatas. With the grace of Guru Mandala, whatever little we could, always say, I'm only a mic. The mic only spreads what is spoken. What is spoken is some other thing, it's my Guru Mandala. So it's something useful to people who particularly chant Lalita Sahasranama. They can ascend these kalas and reach that what Lalita Sahasranama aims at. I think our effort is definitely become worth.
Yes, Guruji.
With this, we pray Guru Mandala and Shri Mata to immensely bless the whole universe, to be always with peace, which is a very rare commodity today. Prosperity is not a commodity, rare commodity. Today, the peace has become a rare commodity, very expensive commodity. Let us pray Guru Mandala and Shri Mata to bestow the whole world, whole universe with peace. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Samasta salmangalani bhavantu. Shanti, shanti, shanti.
Thank you, Guruji. So you tell me in the comment section, how did you like today's podcast? Do you listen to Lalita Sahasranam? What changes has it brought into your life? How connected do you feel towards Devi? How it has strengthened your connection towards Devi? What spiritual progress do you feel in your life? If yes, do let me know in the comment section. How does Devi talk to you? And do share this podcast as much as you can. And also tell me from which part of the world are you watching this podcast. And let me know which more topics do you want me to cover in the next episodes. This is your host Rangoli Sharma. I'll keep bringing you such insightful discussions. I'll see you in another podcast. Namaste.